Alright, the Jake Paul, Nate Diaz press conference was today, and man, this was probably you know we gotta do a watch along for that. If you guys missed it, I did a video predicting KSI Joe Fournier that is going to be happening this weekend, so tune in for that. I'll put it in the corner of the screen. And enough just wasting time, let's just get into this press conference. Alright, Nate Diaz, Jake Paul. Obviously Nate Diaz coming off of that Tony Ferguson win in the UFC. He kind of hinted at boxing Logan Paul, but I guess settled for Jake Paul. That fight makes more sense in my opinion. Jake Paul coming off of his very close loss to Tommy Fury. In my opinion, it wasn't really close at all. Like, I give Jake maybe 2 or 3 rounds, but some people would consider it close, so I'm gonna say it's close. And it makes sense. I don't like Jake Paul fighting boxers. I don't think he should fight Tommy Fury. There's no way he's going to beat Tommy Fury. Let's have some entertainment here, because that's what this is. So I actually don't mind the fight, while other people are saying, hey, that Jake Paul is just going back to fighting MMA fighters. I think that's a lot more interesting, and I think this Nate Diaz fight is a bit more interesting, because as Nate Diaz talks about throughout this press conference, he has been boxing for a long time. Like, this guy isn't just an MMA fighter. No, he apparently was going to be a boxer. Like, he wanted to be a boxer. He's been training boxing since 15 years old, has sparred high-level boxers, and other than jiu-jitsu, that's mostly his main weapon in the UFC, like his boxing. So the press conference starts, and Nate Diaz, of course, is late, like super late. Ariel Helwani is hosting the press conference, asking questions back and forth. But one of the main disappointments, and why I'm calling this maybe the worst press conference of all time, is that there was hardly any trash talk. I will say it did get a little more entertaining near the end. Jake Paul brought out a monkey, kind of imitating Nate Diaz.
Round 10, that's interesting.
It's an 8-round fight.
Are you campaigning?
I think this is what's going on in Nate's brain.
You did mention round 10.
Basically saying how he can't think. Nate Diaz also just walking out of the press conference because I guess he wanted to do that face-off early. But it starts off pretty formal, and honestly, I kind of get the sense that both these guys really respect each other, which was very surprising. I thought that there was going to be a lot of beef and not a lot of respect. But Jake Paul, you know, normally has these press conferences. He usually has a lot of antics with the betting and things like that. Nate Diaz was also talking a lot on Twitter about Jake Paul. But to be fair, when's the last time we've really seen Nate Diaz trash talk at a press conference? Another highlight was when a reporter and Jake Paul were arguing because basically the reporter implied that Jake wasn't going to be a Hall of Fame boxer.
And I don't know who you are to say that I'm not a future Hall of Fame boxer.
What's your resume look like?
See, I've done more for the sport than any boxers in current history. What has Floyd Mayweather done for women's boxing? The list goes on. I've changed the whole entire game, brought a new 70 million followers to the sport. I've put on bigger pay-per-views than some of these Hall of Fame guys. Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Tank Davis, 800,000 pay-per-view buys. Me versus Tommy, 830,000. So you want to talk about Hall of Famers? You want to talk about resume? Yeah, I'm building it up, buddy.
I could tell that one got under Jake's skin. But I think the moment that everybody is talking about is when a guy from Better, which is Jake Paul's betting company, asked Nate Diaz a question, and I'll play it for you guys here.
Derek from Better Media here. My question's for Nate. Nate, I'm actually a boxer myself, and I've been trying to get into this undercard. I'm just wondering if you think I could fight your brother, Nick. If he's anything like you, I think I'd beat his fucking ass.
Not very respectful. From,
brother, where you just gonna walk around the streets or some shit? You know, all my homeboys see you right now.
Yeah, I'm
that was stupid, huh?
I'm definitely pretty nervous right now.
Yeah, that was stupid. What's your name?
I'm Derek from Better Media.
Hey, Derek, Better Media. Stupid ass motherfucker.
Basically disrespecting Nick Diaz, saying, hey, he's going to beat the shit out of him. Also disrespecting Nate Diaz, I guess, as well. And it was just kind of cringe to me. Like, you know, Derek for Better probably has never fought a day in his life. And let's be real, like, in a street fight, him and Nick Diaz, that's not close. Like, he's probably winning. Like, I don't know who this Derek guy is. Maybe, who knows? Maybe he's the second coming of Mike Tyson. But to me, it was just kind of cringe. And all in all, you know, I was a little disappointed about this press conference. There were a few highlights, like I just mentioned. Nate Diaz also mentioning how there's no crowd. And Jake Paul pointing out, hey, you're making this event. Like, that's your own fault.
Considering that.
I don't know where all the fucking people are at. Where's the other? I thought we wouldn't have no normal people for the press conference.
What do you mean?
Whose idea was this?
I'm not good enough.
You're great.
Oh, thanks.
You're great.
Who you?
But
who
like,
talking
where's
about?
all that? We should have 100 normal people in here.
Oh, you mean the fans?
Yeah, this is a sketch ass press conference.
There was a lot of funny moments in the press conference, and I gotta say, did it make me more excited? Not really. I think it was a mistake announcing this fight so early. I think that they should have announced it maybe next month and done the press conference next month, because the fight just seems so far away. I guarantee the hype is going to die down a lot. But I get Nate Diaz is probably a difficult person to negotiate with, seeing how he flip-flops from Logan to Jake, so they just probably wanted him locked down. And as I've mentioned time and time again, look, I don't think this is a fair matchup. I think Jake Paul's going to beat Nate Diaz, hopefully not by knockout, but you could tell even in the face-off, you know, it just seems like Nate Diaz's reflexes are just off. Like, he's reacting to Jake's hands like a little bit slower than he really should. It makes me worried for Nate Diaz, because I'm going to be very sad if he gets knocked out. But as I said, we're going to be live when that fight happens, but we're also going to be live this Saturday watching UFC as well as watching the Misfits card, so tune in for that. And that's basically it. You know, I wanted to make a short video, a double upload, just to talk about this Nate Diaz stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Like I say, you guys are always the best fan base in MMA. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.